please do not order a venti.
They will look at you like you have 3 heads.
Exactly. At Dunkin', a large is just a large. You have to switch back to regular English everywhere else.
Okay, so we've navigated the size. Okay, so I want you to picture this just for a second. It's a Tuesday morning. You're exhausted. Maybe you were up late. Maybe it's jet lag. I don't know. But you need caffeine. Like, it's not a want. It's a basic human need at this point.
It's a survival situation, yeah.
Exactly. So you see it, that green mermaid sign on the corner?
Yeah.
You walk up. You're mentally preparing. You've been practicing your line in your head for, like, 2 blocks.
I can do this. I'm a confident adult.
Yes. I'm going to walk in there and order a medium coffee with milk. Simple.
Clear. Direct. Should be easy.
You would think. But then you open the door, this wall of noise hits you, the smell of beans.
Yeah.
You get to the counter, you look the barista in the eye, you deliver your line, and they immediately fire back, tall, grande, or venti.
And your brain just stops working.
It completely short circuits because suddenly you're not sure if tall is big or if grande is bigger because it sounds like grand, and everyone around you seems to be speaking this secret language.
It's that deer in the headlights moment. We see it all the time. And the line is getting longer behind you. You can feel people shifting their weight.
And you just end up pointing at a random cup and mumbling, that one.
I think anyone who's visited the U.S., or honestly, even Americans who aren't, like, daily coffee drinkers, have felt that exact spike of anxiety.
It's a very specific kind of stress. And that is exactly what we're digging into today. This is basically the American Coffee Shop Survival Guide.
Because it's really not just a place to buy a drink. It's a whole cultural institution that feels like it's designed to test you.
It absolutely is. It's like a secret club where you don't know the handshake.
Well, it's this fascinating ecosystem. Sociologists call it a public living room, but it's a living room with a very strict and very confusing set of unwritten rules.
So today, we're decoding those rules. We're going to unpack the whole conspiracy behind the cup sizes, the milk options that drive up the price, the guilt of that tipping screen.
And how to sit there for 3 hours without getting dirty looks.
Okay, so let's start with the first thing that trips everybody up, the sizes.
The great tall versus venti debate.
This is the first hurdle, right? In normal English, the word tall means big. A tall building is a big building. So why on earth does tall mean small at Starbucks?
This is actually a really interesting piece of business history. It's not totally random. They aren't just, trying to confuse you.
Which feels like they are.
Well, maybe a little, but it's mostly what you'd call a legacy issue.
A legacy issue.
So way back when Starbucks was starting out, like in the 70s and 80s, the menu was super simple. They had only 2 sizes, a short and a tall.
Oh, wait, so tall actually was the big size at one point.
Exactly. Short was small, 8 ounces, and tall was large, 12 ounces. In that world, the names made perfect sense.
Okay, that tracks. So what happened?
American consumerism happened. The 90s happened. We wanted everything bigger. So the company knew they needed larger options. And the guy who built the brand, Howard Schultz, he was obsessed with Italian coffee culture.
So that's where the Italian words come from.
Right. To sound more sophisticated, they added the grande.
Which means large in Italian.
Correct. But then, of course, Americans decided 16 ounces wasn't enough either. We needed a bucket of coffee. So they added the venti.
Venti. That means 20 in Italian, right?
Yeah.
For 20 ounces.
You got it. Literally just the number 20.
Okay, but now the menu's getting crowded at the bottom.
Exactly. They realized almost no one in America wanted a tiny 8-ounce drink anymore, so they just took short off the main menu board.
Hold on. Does it still exist?
It does. That's a little pro tip. You can still order a short coffee or cappuccino. It's cheaper. And the espresso to milk ratio is actually better. But it's basically a secret menu item now.
So by taking short off the menu, tall got demoted.
Tall became the small, grande became the medium, and venti became the large. And to make it even crazier, now there's a trenta, which is 30 ounces.
30 ounces, that's almost a liter of liquid.
It's intense. But you can only get it for cold drinks. I think 30 ounces of hot coffee might be a legal liability.
Okay, but here's the most important part of this. The hack. Do I have to use these words?
And this is the most liberating secret of all. No, you do not have to play their language game.
You could just opt out.
You can just say small, medium, or large.
And the barista won't, roll their eyes at you.
They might translate it back to you. You'll say medium, and they'll say, okay, a grande latte. But they know exactly what you mean. In fact, some Americans refuse to use the Italian names on principle. They think it's pretentious.
That is such a relief to hear.
But, and this is a huge warning, that vocabulary is very Starbucks specific. If you walk into a Dunkin' or a local diner, please do not order a venti.
They will look at you like you have 3 heads.
Exactly. At Dunkin', a large is just a large. You have to switch back to regular English everywhere else.
Okay, so we've navigated the size. You've successfully asked for a medium, but you're not done. Not even close. Now comes the ordering gauntlet.
This is the part that really catches people. You think it's one step, one coffee, please. But it's really this rapid-fire negotiation with, like, 5 different decisions.
It feels like an interrogation.
It does. So let's just break them down so you're ready. Decision number 1, temperature.
Right. You ask for a coffee, they immediately say, hot or iced.
To a lot of people in the world, coffee just means hot coffee.
Yeah, why is this even a question?
Because of a huge cultural shift, especially with younger Americans, iced coffee is no longer just for summer. It is a year-round lifestyle.
I've seen this. It'll be freezing, like 20 degrees out in Chicago, snow on the ground, and people are walking around clutching a giant plastic cup of ice.
It's a whole vibe, so the barista has to ask, because if they assume you want hot, they'll be wrong about half the time.
Okay, so pick a temperature. Yeah. Fast. Now, decision 2 is where it gets really confusing. The actual drink type.
Ah, yes, the espresso confusion.
The menu is just this list of Italian words that all sound kind of similar.
Let's do a quick lightning round.
Okay. Latte versus cappuccino. Go.
It's all about foam. A latte is mostly steamed milk with just a little bit of foam. It's milky. A cappuccino has way more foam. It's lighter, airier.
Okay, simple enough. What about the Americano?
Americano is just espresso shots and hot water. No milk unless you add it yourself. It's for people who want the caffeine strength of espresso, but in a big cup.
Now, here's the trap. The macchiato.
The macchiato trap. This is so dangerous. In Italy, a macchiato is a shot of espresso with just a tiny dollop of milk foam. The word means stained or marked. It's a tiny, strong drink.
But at Starbucks.
A caramel macchiato is basically a dessert. It's a huge cup of vanilla syrup, steamed milk, espresso, and then caramel sauce all over it. They are not the same drink.
That is a critical piece of information.
Uh-huh.
Okay, last one. Cold brew versus iced coffee. Is there really a difference?
Huge difference. Iced coffee is just regular hot brewed coffee that's been cooled down, so it can be kind of bitter. Cold brew is steeped in cold water for like 12 to 24 hours. It's much smoother and usually has way more caffeine.
Okay, so you picked your drink. Decision number 3, the milk matrix.
This has just exploded. It used to be just cream or milk. Now it's a whole science experiment.
You've got whole 2%, that's the default.
Yep, 2% is standard. Then there's skim, and then all the non-dairies. Oat, almonds, soy, coconut.
And here's the little financial gotcha.
The alternative milk tax. You're going to pay anywhere from 70 cents to $1 extra for oat or almond milk.
Decision 4 has a very confusing phrase. Room for cream.
You want room.
The first time I heard that, I looked around the shop like, yeah, there's plenty of room in here.
It sounds so weird, but all it means is, do you want me to leave a little empty space at the top of the cup? If they fill it to the very brim with coffee and you try to add milk, it'll overflow.
And you get burned.
Right. So if you want to add your own milk or sugar, you say, yes, room please, if you drink it black.
You say no room. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
You've survived. You ordered a medium iced cold brew with oat milk, no room. And now comes my favorite part, the name game.
The Sharpie on the cup.
Why is this such a cultural phenomenon?
I mean, operationally, it's just to keep track of the orders. But it's become this universal meme because the spelling is always just wonderfully wrong.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Your name could be something simple like Ben, and they will somehow write B-H-E-N.
It's this shared joke. If your name isn't like John or Sarah, it's going to get butchered.
And we found a strategy for this that I absolutely love. The Starbucks name.
The alias.
You just invent a simpler name for yourself.
It's so practical. We heard about a guy named Dhruv, and spelling out D-H-R-U-V every morning was just too much hassle, so he just tells him his name is Dave.
It saves everyone time. You become Dave for 5 minutes.
It's kind of like being a spy. You have a coffee alias.
I love that. But also, key point, it's self-service. When they yell out, latte for Dave, you have to go get it.
Right. You crowd around the counter with everyone else. You find your misspelled name, and you escape.
Wait. We skipped the single most awkward moment. We have to go back to the register. The screen flip.
Oh man, the iPad swivel of doom.
Describe the tension.
You've put your card in. The barista turns the screen to face you. And there are these huge buttons, 15%, 20%, 25%, no tip. And the barista is just standing there, watching you.
It's pure tip screen guilt. It's a real thing.
It is, and it's confusing because tipping in the US is weird. At a sit-down restaurant, it's not optional. It's part of how the server gets paid.
Right. But this isn't a restaurant, it's counter service.
Exactly. And you
Right.
never used to tip for that, or maybe you'd throw your change in a jar, but the screen puts all this social pressure on you.
So what's the verdict? What's the real rule here? Do I have to tip 20% on a $5 coffee?
The general consensus is no. You do not have to. It is not a social crime to hit no tip.
But it feels so incredibly awkward.
It does. A common practice, if you want to be nice, is just to add $1. $1 is a nice gesture, especially if you ordered a complicated drink. If they're making foam art for you, $1 is good.
$1 feels manageable. It's just the eye contact while you hit no tip that gets me.
The trick is to look at the screen, tap quickly, say thanks, and look away. It's a survival move.
Okay, we've paid, we have our coffee, we turn around and look at the seating area. And this brings us to the whole idea of the public living room.
This is really the heart of the American coffee shop. It's what sociologists call the third place. You have home, your first place, you have work, your second place, and then you have this.
And it is so socially acceptable to just camp out.
That's the key difference. In a restaurant, if you just sit for 2 hours after you finish eating, you're taking up a table. They want you to leave. But in a coffee shop, you're basically renting the space.
I like that. Renting the space. So what's the rent?
The unwritten rule is that one drink buys you about 2 to 3 hours.
It seems pretty generous.
It is, but that's the culture. It's an informal office.
Yeah.
But there are definitely rules of the road. If you break them, you become the villain of the coffee shop.
Okay, what are the big crimes?
The #1 crime is being a table hog.
Oh, I know this person.
You're one person with one laptop. It's the busy morning rush. And you take up a huge table meant for 4 people, and you spread all your stuff out.
That's a social crime. Everyone hates that person.
Everyone hates that person. If you're alone, you take a small table. You make your footprint small.
Makes sense. What about noise?
Headphones are non-negotiable, absolutely mandatory. If you are taking a phone call or a Zoom meeting on speakerphone in a crowded coffee shop,
You've broken the social contract.
completely. It's fascinating how quiet these places can be, even when they're full. It's like a library that smells good.
The vibe is alone together.
That's it, exactly. We're all ignoring each other in the same room.
So to wrap this all up, because we've covered a lot,
Yeah.
if someone is standing outside those glass doors right now, taking a deep breath, what's the one thing they need to remember?
I think it's just, don't panic. The confusion is part of it. Even Americans get tripped up by the sizes and feel awkward at the tip screen.
So you're not doing it wrong. The system is just weird.
Exactly. The system is designed to be a little bit overwhelming. So just own it, go in there, say medium if you want to, give them the name Dave, and don't feel guilty about the tip. Just
Yeah.
please.
Please don't take a call on speakerphone.
That is the golden rule.
And here's a final thought to leave you with. We talked about these places being public living rooms. In a world where so much is online, we work from home, we shop from home, the coffee shop is one of the last physical places where we just exist with strangers.
That's so true. It's a shared reality, even if no one's talking.
So maybe the next time you're in one, instead of just grabbing your drink and running out or just burying your face in your phone, just take a second, look around, appreciate the fact that all these different people are sharing this same weird, caffeinated ritual with you.
And maybe, just maybe, you can try to become a regular.
Thanks for diving in with us. Go get that caffeine. We'll see you next time.